Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. So today was a pretty good day in the markets. Bitcoin was up, Ethereum was up, miners were up today. So it's going to be a good day. We're going to take a look at all that's going on in the markets. We also had news come out from Australia that their inflation has come down a little bit as well. So that's good news. That might have contributed a little bit to the miners, well, the market's going up. But we'll take a look at what's going on there. And then we have some other stories as well to talk about, which include Bitcoin price jumps over 28,000 after 1.5 thousand BTC were shorts were blown out. So that's great news there. And then we also have some adoption news. So Latin America e-commerce giant Mercado Libre expands crypto trading to Chile. And then we got some FUD. We got Elizabeth Warren is pushing the Senate to ban crypto wallets right now. And then we have Stronghold providing their fiscal year 2022 results in fourth quarter. We'll take a look at all the numbers there. So it's going to be, might be a little bit lengthy here of a video. You're going to see all the chapters on the bottom. You guys can skip to the ones that you want to see. And as always, this is not financial advice for entertainment only. Please do your own research. And I'm invested in flying coins and companies for full disclosure. So also, if you like this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. And let's get into the markets here, see what's going on there. So the S&P was up today 1.42% to 4,027. So it had a really good day. Dow Jones was up 1% to 32,717. NASDAQ was also up 1.87% today to 12,846. Bitcoin was up really nice today. It was up approximately 3.98%, almost 4% on the day. It closed at 28,359. We did battle with our resistance line here of 28,600 on it. And this is the fifth time that we've done it, but it's not in a row. We've done it. So we've done it back here on the 20th of March, and then 21st, 22nd, 23rd. So we had 4 days there where we were battling with it. Finally, we had a fifth day today where we battled with it as well. We did it kind of twice. If we look at the 1 hour chart, I think we can see it here, where we did it earlier in the day, right around really early in the morning. Actually, then we did it later on in the afternoon, or later on in the morning, around 9 o'clock. This is for, I think, UTC time or Central time. So we battled with it twice. We got above it once. We couldn't do it the second time around. So the theory behind this is the more times it touches the line and doesn't go above it, the likelihood of us falling lower is there. We've touched it 5 times already right now on the daily chart. We've probably touched it a heck of a lot more here on the 1 hour chart. If you go a little bit further back here, you can see here that we touched it once, twice, 3, 4, 5, and then we fell down 6, 7, 8. So we've touched it 8 times on the 1 hour chart here, possibly more on the 15-minute chart. But like I said, the theory is if it touches the resistance line a couple of times or multiple times and it doesn't go above it, the likelihood of us going down is still there. So that's something to be mindful of. Now, as far as the RSI is concerned, the RSI did peak here quite high during the day today when it was definitely going up in price. We got up to approximately, well, I can't see it here. Let's see here, right around 80 it looks like on the RSI on the 1 hour chart. Last time we were back here was right around here. This was on the 19th of March, and at that point we were lower in price. So that's looking pretty good there that we were up higher. And right now the RSI is at 60. Last time we were back here was, well, if you look far enough back, we were actually lower in price. So that's actually kind of good. We have a little bit of a reversal here on the 1 hour chart, which is good to see. Look at the 4 hour chart as well. We can see that the RSI right now is at 62. Last time we were right around here, which is kind of like where we are right now in price, a little bit higher at that point, it looks like, but we were also a little bit higher on the RSI. So if we go far enough back here, we can see that the price is right around that range, a little bit higher than that, so it's still looking pretty good. Next, let's take a look at Ethereum here, see how Ethereum did on the day. Ethereum was up today a little bit less. It was up only 1.11%, but it had a much better day yesterday than Bitcoin did. So that was good to see. And it closed at 1,793 right now on it, and we'll see how it goes going forward. It's pretty much tracking with Bitcoin for the most part right now. So we'll keep an eye on it as well. And then as far as the miners are concerned, let's take a look at those guys here. Those guys were up nicely today as well. Annie was up 3.91% today to 34 cents. Argo was up 3.33% to $1.55. Bit Digital was up 7.35% to $1.46. Bitfarmers was up 6.03% to 95 cents. Cypher was up 15.79% to $2.20. They were up really nice today. CleanSpark was up 7.78% to $2.70. Cores was up just barely a little bit, 0.07% to 28 cents. DigiHost was up 4.83% to $1.52. DMG was up 1.25% to 23. Greenidge was up 1.16% to 39. Hive was up 8.25% to $3.15. Hut 8 was up nice, also 9.94% to $1.77. Iris Energy was up 8.3% to $3. Marathon was up 10.42% to $7.95. They were up really nice as well. Mawson was up 4.43% to $3.19. Riot was up 13.81%. They were up really nice, $9.23. Soluna was up also really nice, up 11.119% to 29 cents. Stronghold was up 6.84% to 61 cents. And TeraWolf was up a little bit, 2.28% to 77 cents. So those are all the miners here. Let's take a look at the network hash rate really quick as well. So it was good to see that the miners had a good day along with Bitcoin. A lot of them did better than Bitcoin, which is nice to see as well. On the network hash rate here, let's refresh this, see what's going on here. We are currently at 349 million on the 7-day average chart. Let's see what's going on with the daily. Daily is still has come down a little bit here to 312 million. I think it's the same as it was yesterday, possibly, maybe a little bit lower than that. But it's still trending upwards is what we're seeing, okay? So let's get into our stories that we do have here, and then we'll call it a day. So Bitcoin price jumps above 28,000 after 1.5 thousand BTC shorts were blown out. Bitcoin bears get a sudden roasting as short squeeze sends Bitcoin price action to levels last seen before the Binance regulatory debacle. This was obviously earlier this week. We covered that as well. And we can see the chart here, obviously a nice chart going up here. And BTC liquidations mount as Bitcoin reverses Binance dip. The abrupt uptick came courtesy of exchanges where a band of shorts was blown out to remove resistance and allow higher levels to return, which was good to see. I think it also kind of played in with a little bit from what we saw in Australia with the inflation rate coming down as well. So I think that's kind of giving a little bit more confidence to investors that possibly inflation is going to continue to come down here in the next couple of months. So as noted by the analysts skew, these shorts were left over from Bitcoin's prior moves and were worth around 1,500 Bitcoin. Looks like the previous bounce was shorted heavily and thus shorts just got blown out. Part of the accompanying commentary stated, and you can see here that the line of where they were shorting, they got blown out by it. And then down here, you can see it. So Bitcoin faces serious ask liquidity before 30,000. BTC price action thus effectively erased any traces of losses engendered by the news that the largest crypto exchange, Binance, was being targeted by U.S. regulators. And previously consensus favored a return to test lower support levels for BTC USD, thus focusing principally on the 200 weekly moving average at around 25,500. What we're kind of looking at, and that's kind of what I think as well is going to happen, but we'll see. And then coming down here, and that's it for this one. So it's nice to see that Bitcoin is coming back up. It is testing our resistance at 28,600. We'll see if it can squeak out a win for that one. But I think it's going to be a little bit less likely that does happen. I think we're going to be going down in price, possibly to the 200 weekly moving average, but we'll see. Okay, so that's it for that one. Let's take a look at some adoption news. So Latin America e-commerce giant Mercado Libre expands crypto trading to Chile. The company launched its services in partnership with Repio, a regional crypto firm. So this is actually exciting, right? More adoption is getting people to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, things like that. And that's kind of what we want. So Mercado Libre, Latin America's largest e-commerce company by market value, has enabled crypto trading in Chile via its digital wallet, Mercado Pago. Users of Mercado Pago in Chile can now trade Bitcoin and Ethereum with a minimum amount of 50 Chilean pesos, which is equivalent to about 6 cents. Mercado Libre's fintech vertical director, Osvaldo Jimenez, said in a LinkedIn post, Mercado Pago is offering the trading feature in partnership with Latin America crypto company Repio. The company previously enabled crypto trading in Brazil in December 2021 and started the same service in Mexico last year. So it is expanding, which is good. And according to Jimenez, more than 2 million users have traded crypto on Mercado Pago in Brazil since December 2021, while more than 150,000 did so in the first month after the launch of the feature in Mexico. So that's actually kind of interesting there and good, right? We want that to continue. This is great for adoption, and hopefully this continues on throughout the rest of the world. Okay, now some FUD on here that we do have. Elizabeth Warren is pushing the Senate to ban your crypto wallet. So Elizabeth Warren is back with an anti-money laundering act that would, among other things, make it mostly legal for you to use your own crypto wallet. I would believe this would also affect you if you have like a hardware wallet from Ledger or somebody else. This might take effect to that as well. That's what I'm trying to say. And I don't know if this is going to pass. Last time that she introduced this, it was kind of nixed in a pretty big hurry here. So we'll see if this gets anywhere. But here's what it has to say. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is once again smearing the cryptocurrency industry and attempting to make Americans more dependent on big banks. Right, so it kind of makes you think, where is some of her funding coming from, her contributions? Is it coming from the big banks? Does she have somebody in her little ear saying, you need to do this to help us out or whatnot? I don't know if that's the case, but it's a lot of times the way things work in politics. You have big companies, whispering little things to people in government. So we'll see. But Warren vowed in February to reintroduce the Digital Assets Anti-Money Laundering Act, a proposal that went nowhere when she first introduced it with Kansas Senator Roger Marshall in December 2022. While the proposal's stated purpose is to protect Americans from scams, it's more likely to drive cryptocurrency businesses overseas and weaken consumer choice, which is true, right? We want to have more choice. We don't want to have less choice. And then it prohibits the use of digital asset mixers and requires self-hosted wallets, like the kind you keep on your cell phone, along with miners and validators to have anti-money laundering policies. Many of those entities may not even be able to impose such requirements, meaning they would simply need to shut down or stop servicing American users. So miners is a good example on that. Miners just process transactions. They don't care who that's coming from. They don't know who that's coming from. There's no way that they can enact money laundering policies into those. It would have to be more or less on the off-ramps, possibly, like the Coinbases, the Geminis, those kind of places. That's kind of where money laundering would have to be enacted in those. Okay, the proposal is the wrong one at an opportune time. While recent high-profile frauds and thefts demonstrate the need for some crypto regulations and enforcement, the bill amounts to a smear campaign against the industry that would make Americans more dependent on traditional banks, which I agree. But she is simply wrong when she says that cryptocurrencies is the method of choice for international drug traffickers and terrorists. In fact, only about 10 billion or less in cryptocurrencies is involved with money laundering each year, compared with between 800 billion and 2 trillion laundered in conventional currencies. Big difference there, right? But nonetheless, they're going to use this as one of their tactics to go after us. They really should go after the banks. I mean, you're talking about 800 million compared to 10 billion or less. So it's a big difference there. Okay, continuing on here. Most absurdly, companies that develop the software would be required to register as money service providers, adopt anti-money laundering policies, and report customers to the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. By this logic, electronic stores like Best Buy and Micro Center should register as money service providers because the cell phones they sell could be used to commit fraud, which is true. I mean, if you look at it that way, it could possibly encompass those guys as well. Okay? Something to point out. And then it is clear that this has nothing to do with protecting consumers. Instead, it's designed to hobble cryptocurrency and crypto businesses with an unreasonable regulatory burden. In fact, collecting all this data on blockchain users and crypto owners could enable much more crime and fraud. The federal government is not immune from hacking. Moreover, the FBI's success in recovering cryptocurrencies that was stolen or used for ransom payments demonstrates that blockchain is not the weak link in the system, which I agree. Okay, so there's something there to think about. And then the main effect of Warren's bill could be to force many cryptocurrency businesses to either close their doors or leave the United States, giving Americans few legal opportunities to participate in the industry, or they would have to go underground, basically, and do it that way. The Financial Action Task Force, an international body monitoring and advising governments on terrorist, financial, and money laundering, recommended that all crypto transactions be subject to scrutiny, regardless of risk factors. However, other countries are not taking such draconian approach. In the European Union, for instance, hosted wallets will be required to submit information for every transaction, while transactions between unhosted wallets will only need to implement AML compliance for the transactions involving 1,000 euros or above. The United Kingdom only requires reporting if the transaction represents risk factors. So, that's a little bit smarter way of going about things. And it should be based on the off-ramps and not on, if I have a private wallet, a hardware wallet, and somebody else has a hardware wallet, if we make a transaction where I'm paying somebody for dinner or something like that, paying him back or something like that should not be reported. Just, the kind of stuff like there, I think is just absurd to have to be reported, okay? So that's it. That's some of the fun that we do have with Elizabeth Warren, and we'll see where this gets her. I don't think it's going to get anywhere, but we'll see. But it's just something to keep an eye on as well, because this could definitely affect the industry in a whole. Okay, so that's it for that one. Let's take a look at Stronghold here really quick. So Stronghold Digital Mining reports fourth quarter and full year 2022 results and provides operational updates. As you guys know, Stronghold, I don't cover them that much other than when they actually report some good news. They don't provide any of their monthly production updates, which is a shame. Would have been nice to have those coming in over the past 7-8 months or so. but they don't provide them, so they're in the doghouse with me. But we do cover them when they do provide some stories and something that's interesting to talk about, like their financial results. So here's what we got. The recent operations and financial highlights. So current liquidity. Well, let's go into the revenue here. So for the fourth quarter 2022 revenue of $23.4 million, net loss of $47.4 million, and non-GAAP adjusted EBITDA of $5.2 million. So revenue was pretty low here, and they had a huge loss of 47.4, but that also includes a lot of depreciation, other things as well that's in there. And that's why sometimes they report non-GAAP adjusted EBITDA of 5.2 million, which looks a little bit better on the balance sheet. Okay. So current liquidity of approximately 8.8 million, comprising of 7.7 million in cash plus 39 Bitcoins as of March 28th. So this is just today, I believe. Yeah, today. So they don't have a lot of cash on hand, but they do have quite a bit of debt outstanding still. Current principal amount of debt outstanding of approximately 59.8 million and net debt of approximately 51.0 million. Calculated as principal amount of debt outstanding less cash and Bitcoin as of March 28th, 2023, sorry. So the ratio there is pretty bad as far as how much they have net assets, cash, things like that, and how much debt they have right now. They got to get that debt under control. And they have been doing some things here. So they entered into an amended credit agreement with Whitehawk. They also announced some convertible notes with an exchange agreement for, was it with? Doesn't say who it was with. But they amended and restated 10% notes. They signed a 2-year hosting agreement with Foundry, which is good. And then, let me see here. What else do we have here? Raising hash rate guidance. Stronghold now expects to achieve a hash rate capacity of approximately 4 exahash per second by the end of the year of 2023. So that's actually good. That's about double from where they are right now. And they're reiterating expectations of being about 4.5 cents to 5 cents per megawatt, it looks like. Based on that, management commentary, we're not going to get into that. We're going to look at some other numbers here for their actual mining side of things for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin mining update, here's the interesting parts of it. During the fourth quarter of 2022, Stronghold earned 447 Bitcoin through its mining operations. It's a decline of approximately 21% from 567 Bitcoin mined during the third quarter of 2022. And that equates to about, what 130 some Bitcoins a month. So that's pretty low for them. Let's see here. Fourth quarter of 2022 Bitcoin mining operations were negatively impacted by the decrease in the mining fleet associated with the miner return related to NYDIG and BankProv, and the purposeful curtailment of mining operations to sell power periodically when high PJM interconnection power prices exceeded Bitcoin mining economics. So they did a lot of curtailing during that time frame, and Bitcoin was coming down to about 15,500. So I can see why that happened there. Since Stronghold announced its third quarter earnings on November 9th, the company has received approximately 7,600 additional Bitcoin miners with hash rate capacity of approximately 0.7 exahash. This includes approximately 6,000 wholly owned miners and approximately 1.6 thousand miners associated with Foundry hosting agreement. So they do have quite a bit more getting installed for them, which is good. In addition, the company expects to receive incremental hash rate capacity of approximately 230 petahash per second associated with the equipment purchase agreement with Minerva Semiconductor Corp. Dated April 2nd, 2021, the Minerva purchase agreement. However, these miners have not yet been scheduled for delivery and no assurance of delivery can be made. So there's a lot of ifs on this one. As of March 28th, 2023, Minerva has fulfilled approximately 85% of the orders purchased pursuant to the Minerva purchase agreement in the form of cash refunds, Minerva miners, and other leading third-party manufactured miners as well. So that's good there. They got 85% of those. And additionally, as a result of various operational and engineering efforts, the miners received from Minerva are now performing largely in line with manufacturer specifications. So that's good there as well. That's kind of all that we have here, just a little bit more. So after giving effect to recent deliveries, Stronghold Bitcoin mining fleet exceeds 29,500 miners with a hash rate capacity of approximately 2.6 exahash as of March 28th. So that's pretty good. Of these miners, more than 25,000 with hash rate capacity of approximately 2.2 exahash are wholly owned and not subject to profit share components. So they're about the same size right now as like Hut 8 and Hive, and possibly some other ones right now as well. I think Iris Energy is right around there right now as well. So they're kind of in line with those guys. They did have to give back a lot of the miners back in the fall and starting into winter, but they are starting to get miners back in here, so that's kind of good as well. So assuming receipt of the outstanding miners, Stronghold's hash rate capacity would grow approximately 2.9 exahash, and the company is actively evaluating incremental opportunities representing over 2.5 exahash to fill its remaining data centers slots. So beyond the 4 exahash of data center capacity at Scrubgrass Power Plant and the Panther Creek plant, Stronghold is currently pursuing the deployment of of its 25 megawatts of end-to-end data center equipment that it owns in inventory. So that's good there. And then this also includes 20 proprietary strong boxes and the transformers, breakers, and switchgear to support them. The B&M settlement detailed above is expected to lead to the delivery of the 10 3,000 kilovolt per hour transformers needed to connect an approximately 25 megawatt site. So that's good there. I'm not going to get into the power update here. You guys can take a look at that. But let's just take a quick look at their numbers here from their report. We'll see what things have improved, what things didn't improve. And we're just going to go through this here and we'll call it a day. So assets right now at the end of 2022 was way down to 13.2 million from 13.7 in 2021. The digital currencies was also way down, only 109,000 from 7.7 million. Digital currencies restricted was way down from 2.7 to 0 basically. Accounts receivable was way up though. That was good, 10.8 from 2 million. And what else do we have here? Prepaid insurance was down to 4.8 from 6.3. Inventory was also up a little bit here, 4.4 from 3.3. Other current assets, 1.9 from 600,000, so that's good. Total current assets, 35 million compared to 54, so that was a decrease there of about 19 million or so for the year. Equipment deposits have come way down here to 10 million only from 130 million, so that was good there. Equipment deposits, let me see here. Property, plant, and equipment was 167 million, so that's up a little bit from 166. Land, let's see here, 1.7, so that's about the same here. Road bond, same thing. Operating lease right of used assets, 1.7 compared to nothing there. And then security deposits stay pretty much the same. So total assets of 216 million, roughly 217 compared to 354. That's a pretty big sizable decrease there. And that's based on a lot of the miners being returned, like I said, at the end of the third quarter, beginning of fourth quarter, somewhere in that time frame they got returned. So that's mostly why that number has changed, I think. But that is a big decrease of approximately, 138 million roughly. Okay. Now, as far as liabilities are concerned here, current portion of long-term debt is down to 17.4 from 45. So that's good there. Current portion of operating lease, 583,000. So that's not too bad. We didn't have anything in 2021. Finance insurance premiums up a little bit to 4.5. Let's see your forward scale contract. That's 0 there. So that's good. Accounts payable is 27 million from 28, so that's a little bit of a decrease there. And then due to related parties, 1.3, that's down from 1.4, so that's good. And then accrued liabilities went up to 8.8 from 5, so that's not so good there. Total current liabilities is down to 60.4 million from 92.3 million, so that's good there. And let's see here, what else do we have here for long-term asset retirement obligation? That is about a little bit up 1 million. Contract liabilities is up a little bit, about double, to 351,000. Long-term operating lease is also 1.2. We didn't have that the year prior. Paycheck Protection Program loan, that's gone. It looks like warrant liabilities, 2 million. So that wasn't there before. And long-term debt net of discount and insurance fees is 57 million compared to 18. That's a huge increase there. And then total liabilities is 122 million from 112. So that's not good also. That went up compared to where it was the year prior. Okay. Now let's look at their revenues here. So we got the 3 months and the 12 months ended for the period. Cryptocurrency mining, so this is their self-mining, was only 8 million here. For the 3 months in 2022 compared to 8.5, there was a decrease there. On it, obviously I think they mined less, probably mined more I think, but Bitcoin being down in price, that's the reason they are down. Energy, they made a heck of a lot more on energy here. 14.2 million compared to almost 6 million here. And for the 12 months, it was up nice. It was up almost 30 million or so, about 30 million, 29 million, something from 11.8 million to 41 million. So that was good there. And then also their cryptocurrency mining was up also for the full year, 58 million from 12 million. They had a really good first, second, and third quarter, well, first and second quarter potentially, and then the third quarter was a little bit iffy along with the fourth quarter, but that definitely helped them out. Capacity, not sure what that is about. Cryptocurrency hosting. Hosting has come down here in the fourth quarter to 177,000 compared to 555,000. And for the year, it's quite a bit down to 459,000 for the full year compared to 2.2 million, almost 2.3. I'm okay with hosting. Hosting is not that profitable, so I'm okay with that being down. Other, let's see here. We had an increase of 53 from a deficit, so that's good there. And then total operating revenue was 23.4 compared to 17 for the quarter, so that's good. At least it had an increase, largely driven by energy. And then for the full year, they were up nicely, 106 million from 30.9 million. So that was good there. But they still got to get their debt under control, I think. Big things that were up here. Let's see, fuel for the fourth quarter was down quite nicely, 2.3 million compared to 6.6 million in the prior quarter. And for the year, it was up to 28.7 million from 13 million. Operation and maintenance was about the same here. Huge increase though, however, for the full year, 57 million from 15 million. General administrative was up also 11.6 million from 8.5, and a big increase as well from the year prior of 44 million from 14.9. That seems a little excessive to me for general administrative right there. Impairment on digital currencies, don't really care. We know that prices were coming down and things like that. Minor assets there, basically taking a hit on those impairments. Let's see here. Realized gain, depreciation, amortization, total operating expenses. So let's take a look at that. 63 million for the quarter compared to 31 million. Big increase there. And then a huge increase here for the full year of 253 million from 52 million. Big numbers here are for the depreciation added into it, impairment on minor assets as well. And then general administrative went way up, as well as operations and maintenance was way up as well. They got to get those things under control, I think, in order to continue to go forward and actually provide some shareholder value from the company. A net loss was, let's see here, 47 million was the net loss for the quarter compared to 17 million, so a much bigger loss there. And for the full year, it was 195 million compared to 27 million. Not good. So we had a negative 74 cents basic and diluted per share compared to 51 cents the year prior, and $3.45 loss compared to $2.03. So that's not good there as well. So there you go. Those are the numbers that we wanted to take a look at. They are doing better in some aspects, but they have to get better in other aspects as well. So we'll see how they continue going forward. It would be nice to see. I think what's going to happen is eventually the miners are going to come in for them. If they get to 4 exahash this year sometime, Bitcoin goes up in value as well. That's going to help them out with that. I don't know how well they're going to be able to pay off some of this debt that they do have, but they got to get that under control. And they got to get their spending under control as well for operations and general and administrative expenses as well. Those just seem way out of line for what they're actually making. But that's just my opinion. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Guys, let me know what you guys think of Stronghold. What do you guys think of Elizabeth Warren's new bill that she wants to introduce as well? And then Latin America getting into or adopting more Bitcoin. So that's good for us. And then Bitcoin. Where do you think Bitcoin price is going to go in the next couple of days? We got the month ending here on Friday. This is going to be interesting to see where that ends up at. I think we're going to be kind of testing the 28,000 mark potentially, but I don't think we're going to be going above the 28,600, but we'll see it. I'm hoping I'm wrong. Okay, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.